Golfing weather right here on Earth, looking like it.
Yeah, especially from Albuquerque to the west, but out to the east, still frigid, cold, Arctic air. Very close to a daily record low temperature this morning. Carlsbad 16. Right now, you're at 19 degrees. We're at 16 right now in Hobbs, 15 in Clovis, 8 in Clayton. You only got to a high temperature of 13 yesterday, one of the coldest afternoons on that day in history yesterday, not only in places like Clayton, but throughout Roswell, Tucumcari, Clovis, Carlsbad, Hobbs. All these areas will be a smidge warmer compared to yesterday, but still very cold. 6 right now in Las Vegas with low-level clouds, but no freezing mist, unlike yesterday morning. 15 Alamosa, drier. 26 in Farmington. A bit above freezing right now at the Sunport, 34, 39 right now in Socorro. Most areas below freezing, just a few areas above freezing from Albuquerque to Socorro to the south and west. We got wind chill values still around 10 below in Clayton, below 0 around Las Vegas, Tucumcari, and Clovis, and on either side of 0 in southeast New Mexico, where some areas are under extreme cold weather warnings, and we got cold weather advisories from eastern to northern New Mexico. Feeling a little bit colder out there occasionally in Albuquerque, and feeling like the single digits, teens and 20s out to the west in the Four Corners and the western mountains, but it's kind of a tale of two air masses. We got low-level clouds and barely cold Arctic air from Tucumcari, Roswell, Carlsbad, clear skies, but still very cold out in the Northeast Highlands. But we got wispier clouds and relatively milder air in the Four Corners from Gallup to Albuquerque, Camado to Silver City. We got some snow flurries off to the northwest of the Four Corners. That will start to impact parts of the San Juan Mountains near Chinle, Cortez, and near Durango. Not amounted to too much, but with still the low-level moisture with the cold air, some of those clouds that will move into eastern New Mexico may produce some sprinkles and flurries near Clovis, even near Roswell, and as well near Las Cruces, Alamogordo, some sprinkles and flurries from the Oregon Mountains into the Sacramento Mountains. And we got one of the lowest high temperatures on this day in history set for today in Carlsbad around the freezing mark, likely at least getting colder than the previous record of 35. 28 Hobbs, not even close to that. 39, 33 in Roswell, 30 in Tucumcari. Just some of the areas likely to at least tie or break one of the coldest afternoons on this day in history. But meanwhile, places like Santa Fe, Albuquerque to the west and south will reach the 50s and 60s. Even in the Four Corners, Farmington, the upper 50s. Alamosa, you may break 50. You may be as much as almost twice as warm as compared to Clayton and much warmer compared to Hobbs. So snow melt in the northern mountains and frigid air out in eastern New Mexico. That will not last, though, as conditions will start to get better as this Arctic air mass centered in the United States, which is still bringing that easterly, southerly, colder wind in east New Mexico, will start to migrate far to the east. But again, that colder, more dense air kind of butting up against the central mountains and kind of just stubborn out there. But those westerly upper level winds will eventually push that air mass far to the east ahead. And we're starting to see warmer weather returning in Albuquerque, 62 this afternoon. We'll continue to see the warmer trend despite a brief cool down tomorrow with just a weak disturbance from the Four Corners throughout the Rio Grande Valley. Slightly cooler tomorrow with rain and wet snow. And it'll be mostly dry in eastern New Mexico, but a little bit warmer. And we'll see those temperatures rising after that on Saturday, reaching the 40s and 50s throughout much of New Mexico and 60s far to the southwest. Still cold overnights ahead, but then with this high pressure building back in by next week, spring-like temperatures will spring up into the 80s near Roswell to Deming, 70s Albuquerque, 50s and 60s in the northern mountain communities, and Clayton 70s as compared to near 0 about a couple mornings ago. 40s, 50s, then 60s ahead in places like Durango, and a bit breezy in places like Alamosa with elevated fire threat possible ahead with some of the stronger winds, including Gallup and Grants. Temperatures 70s ahead by next week, 80s in Las Cruces, Alamogordo by next week. Camado 60 today. You'll be even warmer ahead. And look what happens in Roswell. 30s today, 40s tomorrow, 50s Saturday, 60s and maybe near the 70s Sunday, and near 80 on Monday, including Hobbs and Fort Sumner. You guys will warm up as well as Clayton. Cold today, but warmer ahead. Las Vegas in the 40s, a bit breezy with that westerly, warmer downsloping wind. You guys will be much warmer ahead. From Angel Fire to Santa Fe, sprinkles and flurries possible tomorrow, then warmer and drier after that. Moriarty, Tejeda, Cedar Crest, to from the north to south valley of Albuquerque, ranging from the upper 50s to the 60s today. A smidge cooler tomorrow, then warming up Saturday, Sunday into next week. 60s and 70s returning, eventually above freezing morning temperatures. So Up and down those temperatures go, going from winter weather out in eastern New Mexico to early summer-like weather.
Yeah, there's no complaints here on that because, well, we love spring. We don't love the winds that come with it, but I think it's a good mix so far.
The temperatures are nice.
Yeah, and on that 7th day, not too windy, so we'll take the warmer weather without too much of the windy weather.
That's always the good combo.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ryan.